Hey guys, welcome back to Piquette Mine. Just getting ready for the first dive of the day here, February 20th, 2021. A quick view of the parking area and the access road to the private property. The short walk over to the entrance that's gated off. I think I've mentioned in the past that Tammy has access to it through an agreement with the property owner, so she's the only one who has keys to get in here. Making my way over to where I left my tanks earlier. You can see from the evaporation of the water, it's a lot warmer than the ambient temp is. So I left my tanks in here just to kind of get down to temperature because I didn't want to have any freezing issues. Here we're at the main shaft. It's a square shaft. It goes from the deepest side of this cave, the Wilson side. I believe here it's about 60 feet, 65 feet. And then this shaft goes up to right around 10 feet where the line continues in and towards the shallow end. We really didn't have a dive plan, but we did want to hit the shafts. I was aware of this one, and I had gone through a curved shaft during one of my training dives, so we wanted to hit that one again as well. On this dive, we kept it linear. We didn't have a precise plan per se. We were just going to go up this shaft into the opening that leads over to the shallow end, and then we were just going to take a linear path, marking our way along the line, and then working our way back once we reached either a dead end or a turning point. So here we're still working our way up. I was the lead diver, so I'm getting a lot of bubbles coming up from the third diver who was also on open circuit. The middle diver, Zach, was on a rebreather, so kind of helped out a little bit with the bubbles coming up, really messing up my visibility. Wasn't a bad climb. It was actually a lot better than the dive I did up the shaft during a training dive. I think you can tell that I'm going straight vertical. I find that a lot easier, especially when ascending, just so I can look up and see when I reach this point here. I know divers have tried ascending in a completely horizontal position, and due to the visibility issues from divers below, they end up overshooting this entrance. Anyhow, so we made our way up and then in through here. Then immediately after entering here, the line tees off. Again, we hadn't made any plan past this point, so I just decided to go right, and then we followed the line, which brings us through this narrow passageway here. As I was going through here, in the trimmed out or horizontal position, my knees are bent at a 90-degree angle, and my fins were pretty much above my body. I think I did tap that low ceiling there a couple times. I hope I didn't disturb it for the divers behind me too much. They didn't say anything afterwards, so I imagine it wasn't too bad. Coming up here, you're not going to see it in the video, but there was another T in the line that I completely missed. I felt terrible coming out, realizing I missed that T and didn't mark it off. Fortunately, Zach, who was directly behind me, did notice it and put a marker on our exit line. Wasn't the end of the world. I mean, that's why we have the checks and confirmations and everyone paying attention, because things like this do happen. As much as I'd hate to admit it, I don't think I'll ever do it again. I really, it's not a good feeling, that the line is your, it's your way out. So missing a T intersection is never a good thing. But lesson learned. It worked out. I was diving with two really good divers, so they had my back, unfortunately. And we made it out, obviously. But like I said, lesson learned. I won't be making that mistake again. I got a little bit of those rocks there. They were really, really black and shiny. I'm not sure what they were. They look pretty cool. And I don't know what I'm trying to film there. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I've shined my light straight up so I could look for the ambient light of the divers behind me, just making sure they were there. So you'll see me do that occasionally. Here we are, I believe we already teed off. So there was the tee that I missed, and then there was another tee that I went right again. I think I was just going on the right path every time. Figured it'd be easy to remember my way out. If I had to go by memory anyway. And then that line ended up taking us back around and to the right and around again to the left side of the main tunnel. I think that's where we're about to come out here. No, we're still going. But it ended up being a good dive. Made it to the main line, and then at the main line I was going to tie off a reel and then continue back to the ore carts from there. But since we didn't have a really planned out dive plan and we're kind of winging it, I didn't want to make it too complex or too hard to follow. I know we would have made it out just fine, but I figured, Zach and Spencer hadn't dove with me before, and we're in an overhead environment, and I didn't want to, I didn't want to push their trust any more than I needed to. So called the dive there. Actually, I think here is where we're reaching the. Yeah, this is where the line goes down to the main tunnel. So I turned the camera off there. I needed to be able to control my buoyancy getting down there, so I needed my both hands. But we made it down. It essentially took us to the top of the main tunnel right before the dwarf markers split off. And I called a dive, or I turned the dive, and then I followed them back to that main shaft again. We're working our way down the shaft. So now it's the same, as before. I got a little bit of the bubbles percolating up from Spencer, but it didn't ruin visibility all too much. Also, I had my video light on, which helped illuminate pretty much all the walls inside that tunnel. So it made it easy to work my way down. And then I think at the bottom here I end up turning the camera off again, since I have to remove the marker that I placed there on the way in, as well as the line that we attached to do the jump. Yeah, I think he just reached the line. That's Zach and the rebreather. And I'm about to be here. I think you might see the orange marker once I make it down to the bottom. If I ever get I didn't want to go down too fast. I was afraid to crash right into them, so I was taking my sweet time. So we get out of the tunnel, get oriented, get the marker off, get the line off, and then start working our way back out. This is the first of the 2 dives for that day. I got some pretty good video of a circuit that's left of that main shaft. We end up going left instead of right, and Tammy mentioned that there was a box, like a wooden crate, over by the beginning of that circular circuit, and then right above that, if you surface, there's an actual shaft that was filled in that still shines. It's still open to the outside, so there is some ambient light that makes it down in there. It's really cool video, getting through there and working our way around there, and then kind of spending a few minutes at the surface checking out the big room. But that's for the next video. Here we're working our way out and just kind of checking things out. I think it was this dive where I noticed all of the wooden posts or pegs sticking out of the ceiling that were used to run electrical cables down these shafts. I hadn't noticed them before because I usually would stick to the wall within arm's reach of the line, but the more I dive the shafts, the more comfortable I've gotten, and I know where the line is now, and you know, I can confidently swim off the line a few feet to get a better view of the other side of the shaft. But I think I mentioned in other videos that the shafts aren't that big. They're about as big as big enough to get a truck through there, but that's about it. And the line is almost always towards the ceiling, a few feet off the ceiling. So if there ever was a silt out or a no-viz situation, just if I'm working my way out, I go left and up towards the ceiling, and I'll probably find the line. But obviously, if that didn't work, I'd use the lost line skill that we learned during the class. There's Zach showing me his awesome frog kick. Another rebreather diver that I had the pleasure of diving with. Very interesting seeing people do their thing in the water. And again, you know, this is probably my second most favorite part of every cave dive at Piquette. It's this nice, slow, relaxing swim back out to the parking lot. So nice there. Water's clear. It's warm compared to the outside anyway. And just so green and blue and all the vegetation and the down trees. Doesn't get old. Does not get old. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to post the other video for the day. Now for our second dive, that one will have that shaft again, and then it'll have the curved shaft that we end up using as our exit. We planned a little bit better for that one after speaking with Tammy, and she gave us a little bit better idea of what route to take to go up one shaft and then down another shaft. So stay tuned for that one. That one will be out hopefully in the next couple days, if not right after this one. It depends on how motivated I get to make another video. As you can see, there isn't a whole lot I put into these, but it does take up a little bit of time. And I have to find a nice quiet room to lock myself in so there isn't a whole bunch of ambient noise in the background. So again, hope you liked it. If you are interested in getting into this kind of diving, check out diversionsscuba.com in Madison and have a talk with Tammy. I'm sure she's more than happy to talk to you about how to get into it. Thanks. Bye.